Back in the day when the radio played and CDs spun our nights away. From grunge to grooves and R&B, 95 was the place to be. We're digging deep, 1 week at a time. Every album, every rhyme. It's more than music, it's a vibe. Come with us, let's take that ride. 52/1995. We're bringing that year back alive. From basement tapes to billboard highs, rewind the sound, relive the drive. Oh, 52/1995. Drop the needle, feel that jive. 1 year, 1 track at a time. Dive, yeah, let's dive. Spinning loud, feel the flash. Britpop dreams and old rock crash. Hip-hop truth, electronic night. Every beat still burns so bright. 52/1995. It's not just songs, it's a time capsule dive. Talking tunes that shaped our lives. Tune and turn up and ride that high, yeah. 52/1995. Weekly drops, we keep it live. Let's rewind the vibe. One album every time.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to 52/1995, your live music conversation podcast where we are going to dive deep into the music of 1995. This is our first expansion into the 52 universe from our sister podcast, 52/1995 Movies. I am your host, Alyssa, and I am joined this week by my fantastic co-host, Cody. Cody, how you feeling today?
Terrible. No, I'm not feeling terrible. I feel good.
Physically, mentally,
It's all kind of it's kind of a wash, you know.
a strawberry.
Oh, strawberry.
It's all. Hey, let's have a chill podcast. Let's have a chill podcast talking about the least chill person on the face of the planet.
I feel like she's very chill though.
Super chill, but like loud, in like not extroverted, eccentric.
Eccentric's a good word, but yeah, like I feel like from anything that I read about her, and specifically on this album, like she's
Pretty
just,
chill.
yeah, she's just happy and like very chill.
Yeah, well, not to bury the lead, but we will get into it. If you are tuning in for the first time, if you're here for the first time, welcome. We love having you. We're so happy that you're here. Just to give you a little breakdown of what we do each week, there are 52 weeks in a year, so we're going to take 52 albums from the year 1995 and explore the different music, talk about the important releases, dive deep into detail, and I will talk with my guest about, what their experience was with it. Did they like it? Did they dislike it? And each month we also explore a different genre or music theme. So this month's theme is pop/dance. music. And there's a lot of subgenres within that, but pop slash dance is the theme for this month. And today's album that we are discussing is none other than Post by the Icelandic singer Bjork. This is gonna be great. So Cody, I want to ask you before we get into the detail, as we do, what is your experience with Bjork? Did you have any prior to listening to this album, or what's up? Zero.
Pretty much zero. I think I listen to a 90s playlist on Spotify a lot. And I believe one of the songs from this album came up, like probably within the last year, and I added it to my liked list. I was like, this song's a banger. I love this. And then didn't know it was Bjork at the time, looked it up. I was like, oh, if this is what Bjork sounds like, I'm really into it. And other than that one song, no experience at all. I know, like, I've seen people make fun of her, like mimic her on like Saturday Night Live. I think Winona Ryder did an impersonation of Bjork for like Celebrity Jeopardy, and so I have not listened to any Bjork outside of that one song. Didn't even know it was a Bjork song to begin with, and then so that is my experience with Bjork. Did you have any?
No. In doing my research, though, I saw the swan dress from.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I said I don't know what award show it was for, but Bjork showed up in a dress that was like, it was like the bottom skirt was a swan's body, and it wrapped around her neck. The neck wrapped around her neck almost like a boa. And at the time, the early 2000s, it was like very controversial or like very wild. And I'm like, I've seen that, but no, she was like the first to like wear a swan as a dress. But I remember that moment. I remember that like pop culture moment, her and people like mimicking that dress or making fun of it. But I didn't know who she was. I didn't know what kind of like that she was in music or that she was an actress. Like does dive into both of those. But yeah, I've never heard of her. Never heard of the music. I have no experience with this music. The only thing I knew was the swan dress, and that's only after I started looking into her.
Yeah, I know she's in a movie that is like a very much loved movie. I think it's called Dancer in the Dark. It's a Lars von Trier movie, but I've never seen it, so I don't even have any concept of Bjork as an actress.
Yeah, me neither. I don't. I think her acting has been pretty limited. I think the majority of the time she is spending her time in music. But she has. It sounds like it's interesting when we do a little bit of these deep dives. Like, do they have controversy? Do they, do other people seem to get along with them, or who do they like interact with? And it seems like Bjork has a lot of friends. And I don't mean that in like a weird way. It's just like she just seems to get along with a lot of people, and because of that has made a lot of connections both in the music industry and in the movie industry. And people are like, hey, I want to work on your album, or hey, let's collaborate on this, or hey, do you want this role? And so it sounds like she seems like a pretty cool person, or at least pretty chill and like someone you'd want to hang out with, someone you maybe want to get a cocktail with, to see what they're thinking, because she's very creative, very different, but it seems like she's got a lot of people who really like her.
I wonder if she would even drink. She would probably order something like very off the wall and sugary. I don't know.
And sugary. That's something we should do. We should
That's the
pair a
vibe she
cocktail.
gives me.
Oh, she gives me do you have sparkling water? Is it only tap? Like
Oh
like
yeah.
not in a not in a snooty way, but I'm like, I think she just wants to drink sparkling water. That's
You could probably even like attempt to make it sparkling and it would probably make her happy. I don't think she would be a jerk about it if you didn't
no.
have it.
No,
So
she seems to be pretty positive as a general statement. So, but we'll get into that. You want to start talking about Bjork and learn a little bit about her?
please tell me everything.
So I'll tell you everything I know. So this week's album is Post by Bjork. Um, it is 11 songs, so only 46 minutes. Some songs are a little longer than others, but 11 songs at 46 minutes. A little bit about her. So she is Icelandic. She is a singer-songwriter known for her very distinct voice and eccentric public persona. So has very much a reputation, kind of Lady Gaga before Lady Gaga. Um, She has developed an eclectic musical style over a career spanning 4 decades. Started when she was 11, by the way, so it's just crazy. And drawing on, and I'm going to list the genres she has touched on: electronica, pop, dance, trip hop, jazz, and avant-garde music. So, but that was it. Like just a little bit of everything, a little charcuterie board of genres. She is one of the most influential pioneers in electronic and experimental music. So, what she has done in that space has really kind of paved the way for others, which is really cool. Like I mentioned, she began her singing career at the age of 11. I guess she like sang at a talent show at school, and they recorded her singing at the talent show and they submitted it to the radio station. And from that, someone heard her and gave her a record deal.
Wow.
It was like a one record thing. But yeah, there's an 11-year-old Bjork record out there. Um, which is pretty interesting. But then I think she went to a musical school, like school for music. So music was very much part of her life. And then she was in a couple bands, notably the lead singer of the band, the Sugar Cubes, before going solo. Really, a lot of the bands that she was part of in like high school and post high school were very punk rock-esque. But when she went solo, definitely leaned very heavy into the other, like the electronica, techno, pop stuff. Her first album is titled Debut, very fittingly. That released in '93 and had a lot of positive reviews. It was named Album of the Year by the New Musical Express. Eventually did go platinum in the United States. At the 1994 Brit Awards, Bjork won the awards for Best International Female and Best International Newcomer. So coming in pretty hot after her 1993 debut. Post, the one album we're talking about today, is Bjork's second solo studio album. Again, building on the success of Debut, continuing to pursue different sounds, taking a particular interest in dance music and techno music here. So that's why, again, that she's part of this month, pop/dance. If you were curious as to why the album is called Post, because there is no song on the album called Post, there is no like mention of Post. She wrote most, if not all, of these songs after moving to London. So it is intended to reflect her new life in the city or post moving to the city. So after moving to the city. So that's what Post means. There's also a play on the post meaning like letters, and her album cover is very intentionally and artistically made, and her jacket, the white jacket she's wearing, is supposed to look like envelopes with like red seals.
Yeah.
And again, sending letters back to Iceland and sending letters to London, like where she lives now. So it's a combination of those things, kind of her new life after she's moved to London, as well as sending letters back and forth to her hometown, her homeland. So
I kind of wish she would have kept up with the names of her albums. Like her first one was called Debut, her second one's Post. Like I kind of wish she would have kept up with it. She didn't. Some of them are just Icelandic words, I'm assuming.
Yes, and I will say I'm not going to even attempt her last name. There's a lot of words I'm not going to attempt because I'm just going to butcher them. But yes. So did this album chart? It did. It in Iceland. It went #1 in Iceland. It did go #3 in the United Kingdom. It hit number 32 in the United States. So it didn't make a top 10, but certified gold in New Zealand and Sweden, did eventually go platinum in the United States, as well as the UK, Canada, and Australia. So long-term success, did hit platinum in those countries, but did not hit the top like 10 or #1 at least in the United States when it was released. But yeah, #1 in Iceland, which makes sense. That's where she's from. And then yeah, #3 in the UK is also pretty impressive, I feel. 6 singles were released from this album. We're going to talk about quite a few of them today. 3 of them did reach the UK top 10. The album was ranked #7 in Spin's top 90 albums of the 90s. So #7 in all of the 90s, which I think is pretty
Wow.
cool.
Yeah.
And #75 on the 100 greatest albums from 1985 to 2005. So to be included in the 100 greatest in a 30-year span, also pretty decent.
Who put out that list?
Spin.
Spin magazine. Okay.
Spin put out both of those lists. And then in Rolling Stone's in 2003, the album was ranked number 373 by Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time. Obviously, the list has changed a bit, but in 2003, it was, on the list about 2/3 of the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So again, impressive, kind of groundbreaking, influential album, even if it's something that you or I haven't heard of, in 2025, 1995, it was making some waves across the world, not just in the United States. So pretty cool stuff.
She's interesting.
Yes.
Unlike some of the other ones, I don't know if I'll do a deep dive on Bjork. I don't know if I'll go beyond this, but I would watch her music videos. Apparently, those are pretty cool.
Yes, that's kind of what she was known for. Like even if the song or the single didn't get a lot of attention, the music video did. Played pretty heavy on MTV. So that's really interesting. Yeah, and I don't mean this in like a negative way, but she seems pretty, we keep saying chill. I don't want to call her boring by any means, because she's absolutely not boring, but like she's just always been a musician, always has done music, hasn't really steered away from it. She doesn't have a lot of controversy. She's not like a diva, or hasn't had a lot of craziness happen that I have done any research on that I can see. Seems pretty like even keeled, has worked in music her whole life, has done a lot of charity work, loves to take eccentric musicians, like people who are interested in basically the stuff that she makes, electronica, pop, techno, trip hop, and take them under her wing and really help produce them. She's, also a songwriter for other people. People have helped write her songs. So she's just been in the music industry forever and continues to be in the music industry. And, again, very outward, eccentric appearance, but overall seems like she's had a pretty chill life.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, yes, like express your art, girl, do your thing, in the weirdest way possible, and we're gonna love it. So let's break down some songs, shall we?
We shall.
What songs stuck out to you?
I only wrote 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of songs on here that are like okay, but only 2 really stood out to me, and that is "It's Oh So Quiet" and "I Miss You."
Oh, okay, great. I have both of those. I have also quite a few others because I wasn't sure what you were gonna pick, and I wanted to be prepared because, like you said, there's a lot happening here. There's two. I'll jumping the gun, kind of skipping ahead. "It's Oh So Quiet" and "I Miss You" are my 2 favorite songs on the album.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they are the most normal.
It's the horns.
And you know what? It's probably the horns. We do love a horn.
I love a horn.
Yeah, they're probably even "It's Oh So Quiet." She referred to that herself as a palate cleanser for the entire album.
I mean, it makes sense.
It is. You're so if we got folks out there who haven't listened to the album this week, I genuinely recommend it just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Just to see what's happening. But to say that we are in the most eccentric, out there, no idea what's going to happen next kind of album. You thought Pulp was wonky.
Yeah.
You thought Pulp was different. Welcome to Bjork. And has so many different themes and sounds. Like if you're really into sound and like the musical instruments of music, this is the album to listen to because it is everything. It's everything.
What else did you have?
Yeah. Oh, I had Army of Me. I had like only like 1 or 2. I really only had like little tiny notes about all of these. Army of Me, Hyper Ballad, Enjoy, Isobel, Possibly Maybe, and Headphones. I had on top of "It's Oh So Quiet" and "I Miss You."
I figured you would have Headphones.
I thought Headphones was interesting.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these, but I want to talk about, if we don't always go in order. So let's talk about the ones that you picked out. "It's Oh So Quiet," which I said that's certainly the one that I would direct people to, Be like, you
Yeah.
want to hear a good one that's not totally insane? It's Oh So Quiet. It's still insane, but
Yeah.
yeah. What stuck out? What about it stuck out to you?
So one, it plays to my love of musicals or big band music, and this is actually a cover. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, this is a cover of,
Of
I think,
who?
Betty Hutton sang this song. And if you listen to it, which I did earlier today, I mean, it's not as crazy. Bjork is not as crazy on this as you think, like with her shouts and everything.
Hmm.
No, it's a 1951 song by Betty Hutton, which is actually a cover of a German song from 1948. But yeah, so a little interesting there. Do recommend you listen to that after this is over, just to hear the similarities. And there's a lot of, I mean, like I
Okay.
said, it plays pretty exact to that. And I was kind of surprised because all the like that like yow part that she does, I did
Hmm.
not expect that to be in this song. And or in yeah, and it is. Yeah, Betty Hutton does this. But I really like this. I like the instrumentation of it. I think Bjork's voice and her like vocals, however unique they are, play really really well into this, and it also showcases her a little bit as a singer,
Yeah.
especially when it hits that chorus. So I liked it. I just think it's a fun song, and this is actually the song that um I have had on my liked playlist for a while now, because of this. I just thought it was like um very obscure. It's that big bandy thing, but it's also
Hmm.
cute. It's I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. But yeah, very cool.
Oh,
Very cool song.
I like that you described it like you placed that musical theater kid in you, because I thought the same thing. It's the big band. It's very theatrical
It,
with the beginning, her being like shh, shh, like she's like talking to you. It's quiet. Shh. Like very rarely do we see someone do that in a song.
yeah.
And that, but it is very very quiet, and all of a sudden bam, it's super loud, and you get these huge big band horns and this jazz music, and you just want to kind of like swing, do 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 do, and it's
You
like so fun, and you're like a little shocked by it, especially because she does start screaming like "Blah!" and you're like okay, and but it's so fun. It's very happy and upbeat sounding as well.
Yeah, and you can see it play out, and I mean, it tells a story throughout the song of like falling in love and thinking like, oh, it's so quiet, and then even brings you in with that. So it is very theatrical in the way that
Hmm.
it is sung, and I'm sure in the performance, this is the one I want to look up the music video for because
Yes.
I think it's supposed to be pretty cool. So, and I think it's supposed to be based on a French musical, which is called The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, which is a beautiful movie. But I think that's what it's supposed to be. So it should be very colorful, should have a lot of pop in it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think this is the best song on the album, honestly.
Yeah, it is. It's the most fun. I also love, and I'm a little bummed, not bummed out that it's a cover, but I thought like I thought it was hers, but I see so many, or not so many. I love in this song the personification of love, or
Hmm.
that love, or as an emotion, is something that you can hear. It's like, it's quiet, and all of a sudden you blow a fuse and everything gets really loud, and it's like like love is loud.
Hmm.
And it reminded me of, and like of the song Charlie Be Quiet by Charlie Puth, where which again, if you like Charlie
Yeah.
Puth or not, I like his song in particular, because it starts out him being really quiet, like Charlie, be quiet, don't make a sound. If she knows you're in love, she's going to run away. Like he's trying to physically be silent and
Hmm.
quiet so that she can't hear that his love. And that's how I felt about this. It's just like, oh, like it's like something that's uncontrollable, and the volume just gets turned up. And when you like think about that person, or it's just like, oh gosh, it's happening, and it's bright and colorful, and love is loud. And I love the kind of visual behind it, or the I don't know, the metaphor, I guess. I thought that was really, really fun too.
Yeah, so I don't know how much more I have to say about that song, other than
Yeah, I got one more thing about it,
yeah, go
because
for it.
Bjork did a interview that broke down almost every single song on this album.
Which I
So
loved. I saw all that stuff
yeah,
too. I was like,
so
oh, this is nice.
yeah, so when she was asked about "It's Oh So Quiet," she included the song to quote, "just to make it absolutely certain that the album would be as schizophrenic as possible, that every song would be a shock." And then she's like, "This is the palate cleanser song." And but yeah, to describe an album as schizophrenic as possible, I was like, yes, yes. And you have no clue what direction she's going in. For her to throw in a massive big band jazz number in the middle of the album is
Yeah.
insane, but it's fun. And like, we talk about cohesion a lot, with our albums. When we listen to from beginning to end, we're like, oh, this is cohesive or this doesn't. This was not cohesive in a positive way to me. That I was like, I have no idea where she's going, and every turn is a surprise. As to quote Aladdin, every turn a
Yeah.
surprise. But I liked it. I liked her doing weird stuff and subverting my expectations.
And I don't think this is a song like I think I went into this album expecting pop. I was, we just came off of Mariah Carey, and I
This
actually
is
think
very
this
different than Mariah Carey.
very different. And I think this actually plays more to the next two albums that we're going to be talking about for the rest of this month. It is more dance, it is more electronica. It's different, and that's usually not an area or genre that I gravitate toward. But I get it. Like I
Mhm.
understand why it's fun. Like I can't see myself listening to this in the car or well, singing any of these songs in the shower
Mhm.
or anything like that. But it is unique and different, and I would never have listened to this album otherwise.
Yeah.
Um, just
And I
based on
think
those
it's
descriptors. Yeah.
I think it's interesting too. I believe all three of the bands were listening, or the singers were listening to Bjork, and the other two, aren't they like all international? Mariah Carey. I don't know about the last one. Goldie, I'm pretty sure is.
Moby is I think Moby's American.
Oh, okay. I think Goldie's from the UK.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, right, obviously there's Britpop as a wave of music. Grunge is really all the rage. Country's also having its moment, in the early 90s. But at least in the United States, not that pop isn't popping off, but it's way more alternative grunge other. That's
Yeah.
what's popular. Again, the Alanis Morissette of it all. Um, so we don't get a ton of pops, like straight pop, like a Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is almost unique in that sense for this year. But there is a dance scene and a club scene, but not necessarily in the United States, or not necessarily with the straight population in the United States. But and again, Bjork is Icelandic. Like there is a way different dance nightlife culture happening in Europe than there is in the United States. So that's
Hmm.
why I think why when we listen to electronica or dance music, it doesn't necessarily resonate, or it's not something that we would seek out ourselves just because it's not something that's part of our culture.
Yeah. I see that, and I think like I do think that dance has its moment coming up in the 90s.
Mhm.
Because I do think that like Moby and Fatboy Slim and more electronica stuff it becomes more popular post this year 95, 96,
Yes.
97. Because I think Moby's
Hmm.
Play album comes out in like 97 or 98, and Fatboy Slim's about to get real big, and and those are some guys that like I really do enjoy that
Yeah.
stuff. It's fun.
Even Radiohead. Even
Yeah.
Radiohead after 95 is going to go way more electronic with everything. So yes,
Yeah.
it's just yeah, when I say the 90s, I mean 90 to 95. Like we're just
Yeah.
not quite there yet. We're on the precipice of it.
We are on the precipice.
So you said your other one was I Miss You.
Yes.
What about that one stuck out
So
to you?
so this one again, it doesn't play on like the what I just talked about with the other song, where it is an actual, like tons of lyrics, but this actually has that like techno electronica part to it very early in the song, and then all of a sudden it brings in these like I just put Gloria Estefan meets techno. It's very southern, like it's like Miami feeling. This song is with some techno beats to it. Is that wrong? Am I wrong?
No, no, that is very right. You said Miami. It is Afro-Cuban inspiration. So electronic drums, African bongos, jazz horns. like like we have two different types of percussion, and again, it is all over the place. I wrote in my notes, I don't know why I liked this one so much because shit was weird, but I
Yeah,
liked it.
but
It was weird. It was so weird.
I liked it a lot. And not as much as the one I had said before, but yeah, I don't know. I think it like it finally like drew me in by the end of the song with the bop, bop, bop,
Yeah,
bop,
a
yeah.
lot of drums.
Oh yeah, I really like that. And I feel like that's a popular music style. That's coming out of the 80s and into the 90s. Especially like Gloria Stefan, who is kind of the queen of all of that kind of music.
Percussion.
Percussion, yeah. What is the song? Doesn't she say? Is it?
Yeah.
The rhythm of the
Well, she said
doesn't she have a
percussion at some point.
percussion? Yeah, what song is that?
Turn the beat around. No, love to hear percussion.
That's it. That's it.
Turn it upside down. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Queen of percussion.
Queen of percussion, she is. So, yeah, I think it just really brings that to it. And I like that, again, like this album keeps you guessing. You have no idea what the next song is going to be.
Yeah.
And it just throws it like, we've got the song that was like this big band, Broadway number. And now we've got this Afro-Cuban techno song. We had a very industrial Nine Inch Nails like esque song to begin the album. That is the Army of Me. I didn't list it as one of my favorites, but it sticks out to me. Like I don't even have to go back and listen to it to tell you exactly what that song is at all. So yeah, I don't know. I liked that one. And yeah, again, it's really hard to talk about these songs when there isn't like a lot of depth lyrically, but it is like because I'm such a singer guy, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you're a lyrics person, you love lyrics and stuff like that, but when they're just like, it's a lot of repetition, it's a lot, I mean, it's just that beat over and over and over again. I'd love to talk to somebody about like the musicality or what they're doing with the instrumentation and choices that they have there, but alas.
And you're right. I am definitely a lyrics person, and
I do like lyrics in this song though.
We will talk when we get to would you recommend this. I will kind of explain my reasoning there because there's a reason why I think I liked this album a lot, but it's not for like my normal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you write anything down about possibly maybe?
I didn't.
That's okay. Well, I was curious because you said she just seems like a happy person.
Well, and I did read about this, that this was her sad song, right?
Yeah. Yes, sad song. But yeah, she actually said, I'm ashamed that I wrote a sad song because this, like, I like to write songs that bring hope, and this song doesn't bring hope. And it's it's actually about her ex and a relationship she had with an ex, and it was kind of tumultuous towards the end. And it was about falling in love. And then towards the end of the song, she's like, where's that love you promised me? I was like, oh, that is, I mean, it's still pretty upbeat and still like a fun and weird and funky, like music, like sonically. I didn't even notice the lyrics until I looked back afterwards. But I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of a sad song, but it's very good. It's just, yeah, it's kind of, again, subverting the expectations.
Yeah.
I will say though, oh, sorry. What do you want to say? Something else?
No. I wasn't going to say anything about this song. I was going to ask you what a specific song. There was one in my little bit of research that I did that I was like, this song's about something else, but I think we'll get to it. So,
Hyper Ballad?
No, it's Army of Me.
Oh, Army of Me was a good song. But it's funny because she's like, oh, I want to only write happy songs, and I'm ashamed I wrote a sad song. Hyper Ballad, the song, is about Bjork describes living at the top of a mountain and going to a cliff at sunrise. She throws objects off the cliff while pondering her suicide. The ritual allows her to exorcise darker thoughts and return to her partner. It's like, man, like
Nice.
there's a part where she's like, yeah, like I throw stuff off the cliff and I see it crash down on the rocks below. I wonder what it would feel like if my body broke against the rocks. And I'm like, if ma'am, this is not positive. This is suicidal ideation. Are
Yeah.
you okay? I was like, it was just so funny. She's like, yeah, I wrote one sad song for the album. I'm like, babe, you
Well,
did
and
not.
and Army of Me, when she was describing Army of Me, she was like, "Oh, I wrote this because my brother was annoying me, and this is about him being annoying." And I was like,
Yeah.
and then I read
Stop.
the lyrics, and I'm like, if you didn't say that, I think I would have like thought the lyrics were a little bit like more
A
interesting.
little different. Yeah, it's about, yeah, she's like, someone who is full of self-pity and doesn't have their life together, stand up.
Man, just
I'm
freaking
like,
gives it to him.
okay, I guess I'm not going to complain to Bjork about my life. Good to know. Yeah. Oh, I mean, even if something sounds positive, like there's like upbeat
Hmm.
tones or tune, some of the lyrics, I'm like, girl, I don't know how positive these are, but okay.
Yeah.
It's funny. Um, any others you want to chat about? I might want to chat about headphones a little bit.
Um, I think I liked Isabel a little bit too.
I liked Isabel.
Not enough to like really stand out as something that I was like in love with, but
Mhm.
I liked it just fine. Again, it's a genre of music that I'm not like super into, and this is I think more in the lines of trip hop, which I
Mhm.
was introduced to by my boss of my company, like when I started working there. They're
Really?
yeah, they're super into trip hop and bands like Massive Attack or groups like Massive Attack and I'm trying to think of something like Portishead. And I've tried. I cannot get into it.
I
So
don't think I know what trip hop is. I'm not gonna, even though we
it's
are talking about it, I don't know.
it's like if you took jam bands and then
Okay.
mix them with techno or hip hop. I think they typically go more on like the hip hop thing, but I would just say it is jam band electronica. It says psychedelic fusion of hip hop and electronica.
Okay, gotcha. And I would agree to that. Yeah, it's someone described it as Broadway on backbeats. Again, like this like theatrical storytelling over this rhythm, this techno rhythm. So yeah, I liked it too. It was weird. It was kind of like, you know, my name is Isabel, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like it just made me want
Yeah.
to go like this. I'm like, we're witches.
It did feel very witchy. There was a
It felt
lot of this
witchy.
album that felt very witchy to me.
Yes,
Um,
the vibe is there.
the vibe is there. She is a witch, I think.
That'd be pretty cool if these were spells that she's casting.
And I know she has a good voice. Like you could
Oh
tell she has
yeah.
a good singing voice. The what she's do I don't even know how to describe it because like in songs like Isabel, it's it just it is like that middle ground of singing and talking. Like it's like
Yeah.
sustained shouting. Like but she does it very well. Like I don't think she could be duplicated. I don't.
No, I
Um,
agree. Everything is very intentional. The screams, the deep voices, the anything she sings, anything she yells, anything she talks, it is with tone and inflection. And there are notes that she's hitting, even though like to the naked ear, you'd just go, she's just talking. But oh, it's very intentional. And
yeah,
I agree. Like she has such a unique sound to her voice. I mean, maybe it's partially her accent while singing in an American act. Like she's singing in
in
English,
English, yeah.
she's English, but in her Icelandic accent, that probably does have an influence on it a little bit.
And did you have hyper ballad down? I mean, other than
Oh,
talking about like the suicidal ideation.
yeah.
I just think that one's more of a
Yeah.
dance one than anything. It's just that boot, 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 boot in the
Yes,
background.
It is electronic and orchestral styles.
Yeah.
Altered. How they describe this is insane. Altered from gentle folktronica to drum and bass tinted acid house. I'm like, we're just
Folktronica is a good way to like describe Bjork, I think.
yes. I was like, we're just throwing words at the wall to see
Yeah,
what
I mean,
sticks.
I think those half of those are made up genres.
Acid house,
Acid,
which I'm
house,
like,
drop,
I mean, I guess
fizz.
there's acid rock, right? That's Pink Floyd, right?
Hmm.
So house music, there, like, I guess there'd be acid house, but I'm like, really? Are we getting that? We're getting that deep into the genre? Um, yeah, folktronica, I agree, is a great way to kind of describe her.
And with headphones, I know you were going that way. I thought you would like headphones because of I when I think of you like loving music so much.
Yeah.
And then when she's like, my headphones saved my life or whatever, I think
Yep.
like that made me think about you instantly.
Yes, I loved the concept of the song Headphones. I did not actually like the song
Yeah.
because really there's not a lot of music in it at all. It's kind of her just speaking. But yeah, she does say, "I love my headphones. They saved my life." But this is actually the lyrics were written as a thank you to Graham Massey, who I believe is someone who she's collaborated with in the past, who would make her compilation cassettes. So it's about like listening to a mixtape and like the connection. I mean, like the friendship that you have with someone to
Hmm.
be so like, I know you so intimately. Here is a playlist or a burn CD or a mixtape of all the songs I think you should listen to. And I love that. And she's also said it is also a love letter to sound and the sound of sound. And I thought that was pretty cool. Again, sounds are very much a main character on this album. But I thought that it was like a little thank you love note to her friend who would make her mixtapes. And I'm
And
like,
it's about such a simple thing too. Like it's just about music. Obviously, it's a love letter. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the mixtape. But the fact that it doesn't. I don't feel like it goes that much deeper.
no, it
Like
doesn't. That's what it
it's just
is.
I love music and thank you for my mixtape.
Yeah. And I also think it's a great way to end the album. Like
Yeah.
I'm this song wouldn't have made any sense if it was in the middle. If you kicked it off with this song, I would have been pissed. Like it's a good ending, and it's just like yeah, it's like and I love music, and that's the end of the album. Like that's I kind of like that. That's the stamp of approval at the very tail end,
Yeah. I it keeps you guessing.
to
And
say the
I've said
least.
that just yeah, it certainly does. And there's some ones that I was like, okay, I get it. Like eye roll, or I was just like, we're good. We don't need that anymore.
That's fair. So what was your? I think we've already kind of covered this. What's your favorite?
My favorite is It's Oh So Quiet. I think, it's a great announcement to maybe American audiences to know who Bjork is
Mhm.
and get to know her a little bit, even though this is, I think, the farthest thing from what Bjork is,
Yeah.
which is sad because I like it so much.
Hmm.
But yeah, uh, that's my favorite.
Sometimes you find, isn't that like kind of not the best, but like the worst when you find a song that you are so in love with and then you go listen to the rest of that artist's discography and you're like, oh, I don't like any of this.
Yeah, that's I'm yeah, there's a couple of those that I think we'll get to that, or that we have already gotten to. Like, I didn't love
Hmm.
Blur as much as I thought I was gonna love Blur, or I'm a little afraid to go look at Pulp's other discography stuff and see if
Yeah.
I like that as much.
Hmm. I would, there's a song that I showed you. It's called Dean Martin. Do you remember that beat?
Yeah,
That's one I heard. That song came on my like Discover Weekly in 2020. Became obsessed with it. I went and I looked. I didn't like a single thing that that group did. I was like so bummed out. It's a great song. Dean Martin's like a fantastic song. I can't remember the name of the singer or the band off the top of my head, but I hate all the rest of their stuff.
yeah, I have one of those. Again, same thing. I made one on my liked list. It's a band called Little Image, and they have a song called Bottles. And I freaking love that song. And it's the main singer has his sister, I think, singing with him,
Mm,
and none of the other music sounds like that at all. And it was so disappointing.
hmm. So
So
this is a bummer, but I agree
yeah,
with you. It's Oh So Quiet is the best song. I also like I Miss You and a little bit possibly maybe. But yeah, It's Oh So Quiet is the best,
yeah.
hands down. What about least favorite?
Cover Me.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah, it's short and
Short.
boring and not a lot happens. And I don't know if it's a palate cleanser as well of just like, hey, here's a
To
soft song
me,
for you.
to me, it felt like an interlude. It didn't even feel like a
Yes,
full
yeah, yeah.
song. I was like, is this just a transition to the next thing? Like, what is this? Like, it obviously it has lyrics and everything, but you're right, it's a little more chill than the rest of the album. But it
Hmm.
genuinely felt like last week when we had the fantasy, or is it daydream or fantasy interlude, like
Yeah,
on
that
Mariah
weird
Carey's
one.
album. It felt, yeah, it felt like that almost. So definitely my least favorite. Do you have any lyrics that stuck out to you?
Yeah, my lyrics I picked from I Miss You, and it's the
Hmm.
bridge. I'm so impatient, I can't stand the wait. When will I get my cuddle? Who are you? I know by now that you'll arrive by the time I stop waiting. I don't even think we talked about this song, like what the song's about, but it's about missing somebody that they haven't even met yet.
Yeah, that's the opening line. I miss you, but I haven't met you yet.
Yeah, and falling in love with somebody that they haven't met yet. I just one thought it was so cute. I didn't know if um because she asked, "When will I get my cuddle?" Which I think is
Very
like
cute.
super cutesy, super demure. Yeah, I just thought that was funny in the lyrics. Again, like I don't think a lot of her lyrics are so deep or anything. Even this seems very kind of juvenile, but I really liked it, and I thought it played into the song, like falling in love with somebody that you haven't met yet, and like getting all these things. Like, when will I get my cuddle?
Yes. No,
So
I do think it's very cute. I think it's a very, very cute song for sure.
yeah. What about
Um,
you?
I, I had one from Possibly Maybe. And again, it's her sadder song. But it says, as much as I definitely enjoy my solitude, I wouldn't mind perhaps spending a little time with you. Sometimes, possibly, maybe, probably love. And I like that. It's like, I like to be alone, but maybe we can spend some time together.
Yeah.
Like it's cute. Again, that's what you want, is that someone who makes, you know, you not want to be alone. Like, you like, if you enjoy spending time with yourself, there's, this can only be enhanced. It may be if the person's right, and this is the right person to enhance my
Hmm.
solitude, that I would rather spend time with you than spend time by myself. And I like that. It was really cute. Yeah, there's such cute stuff on this album. Again, weird as hell,
Yeah.
but cute.
Yes. Absolutely. Definitely cute. Definitely,
Uh,
possibly, maybe cute.
Definitely, possibly, maybe cute. What are your music pairings? I think this is gonna be hard.
Okay, so I went more on the folksy side of this and went more on the women's side of this, less the because
Okay.
I don't know much trip hop or electronica, or maybe after we listen to these Goldie and all these things, maybe I'd be like, yeah, that would be pair perfectly. So I picked Fiona Apple.
Mm,
Um, she's got some interesting albums, like Extraordinary Machine is a great album that I would suggest to people, and it's very weird, it's very folksy, and she does a lot of interesting things on there, even to the point of like big band stuff. Joanna Newsom, if you're looking for somebody that is definitely folksy, she is also has a very, very unique voice, and she also plays the harp, and she's also married to Andy Samberg, and she's got an album that is like it was a album, like 3 CD album or whatever it was. And I loved that album a lot. So she's interesting and would go up more on the, like, especially like vocally. And then
hmm
I picked FKA Twigs
hmm
because she's weirdo. She got some weird pop music. So
I like that. I think Fiona Apple is spot on.
yeah.
That's really good.
So what about you?
I got a couple. The first is actually Joni Mitchell. And that is because that is someone who Bjork has cited as inspiration. So I don't know if it's like a woman in music with unique voice, or if it's folk music, or someone who does a concept album like her Blue album, like maybe like, I mean, I feel like Bjork's entire life is a concept album.
Yeah.
So I mean, so
Sorry, that got
so
me.
so So maybe that's so I thought that was interesting because I'm like, oh, Joni Mitchell, really? And then I'm like, oh, I think, I can kind of see some parallels. So that was my
Yeah.
first. Marion Hill is a band that I bring up frequently. I love Marion Hill. It's definitely more in that dance pop space, but they also use really unique sounds. A lot of them a lot more electronic or techno-y, but like
Mhm.
the unique percussion and the interesting sounds that they use. Like I hear like they'll use like a water drip drop as like a beat in the background,
That
and I'm
seems
like,
like some Charlie Puth bullshit.
some Charlie Puth bullshit. I like Marion Hill way better than Charlie Puth. Also plays into that Broadway side of myself because again, Marion Hill, based the band name
Oh
is
yeah.
based on. I've told you about this. They're based on the Harold Hill and Marion the librarian
Hmm.
from the Music Man. They also and this is kind of me being silly. Maureen from the musical Rent. So
Just
she's
her.
like just her. Well, like she's an artist and she does her over the moon, like the cow song when she's out. And like it's like speak singing. It's
Yeah.
very theatrical talk singing. And I'm like, I'm sure there's lots of people, again, very 90s. But yeah, I was like, oh, Maureen from the musical, we say like, would the cast of Reality Bites listen to this album? I immediately went, Maureen loves Bjork. Maureen from Rent loves Bjork.
Do you think anybody from Reality Bites would listen to this?
No, I don't.
Mm-mm.
I just don't. I don't think that they think they're like, oh, that's too like whatever. Like, oh, she's trying to be unique. Bleh. Like, I don't know. Whatever. They suck.
Tell me how you really feel.
The last one is just a song. And it's the Tune Yards is the duo. And the song that I know of theirs is called Water Fountain.
Okay.
It's a weird song. Shit goes off the rails. But there's also like a didgeridoo in the background. Again, just like kind of this, definitely pulling from like um, African inspiration for this particular song. Again, has the didgeridoo, which is Australian or New Zealand,
Mm-hmm.
but also like this plucking kind of guitar. It's very like musical, but also very strange. This chick, again, that's a weird song. But when I was listening to Bjork, it reminded me. I was like, oh yeah, I ever forgot about that song, Water Fountain. It was like one of my top songs in like 2018 or something like that. But because it's catchy, but it's strange. That's the only other pairing that I've got.
Yeah,
Like from things that I do.
I like it.
So, are you recommending this to somebody?
No, I
No.
don't. I don't have any friends that I would recommend this to. I don't think.
Um,
Sadly, what about you?
I am recommending this to choreographers.
Okay.
And because I'm listening to this and I'm like, this was way playing more into that dancer side of myself than the musician side of myself. Because again, a
Mm-hmm.
Broadway kid or a theater kid, you do dancing and singing. And I was like, oh, I would eat up a contemporary piece to a Bjork song. Like, you know how like
This
watching
would.
So You Think You Can Dance, like the weird,
This is a Mia
like
Michaels song, just or a
yes.
Travis Wall, whatever. Like this is right up their alley. Yeah.
Yeah, something to do, and like the incorporating jazz or hip hop or contemporary, being able to tell a story with movement. I would, from a space of choreography and dance. Again, this is a dance genre month, so it doesn't surprise me that this music makes me want to dance. But I genuinely would love to see choreographed numbers to a Bjork song.
Yeah.
Specifically, It's Oh So Quiet. But there's a lot here that I go, oh, this could be a really beautiful artistic dance piece. So yeah, in terms of like listening, I'm not going like, oh, you should listen to the Bjork album. But if someone's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh no, you should dance to the Bjork album. You should like, here's the album, choreograph something. Like I had stuff going in my head. I was like, I can see what happens when the big band comes in, or I can feel the percussion here. And I'm like, yes, let's choreograph, let's dance. So yeah, I want like a show.
So
I'm not to do it.
so you're definitely going to choreograph something to this and perform it?
Do not threaten me with a good time. We'll see we'll see how you act.
How I act, that's funny.
What's your 5-star rating then?
I gave it 3. I liked I liked it fine. I don't think I'm ever going to come back to it, except for that one song, like I said. But I really, really like that song. I just think this is a genre that I'm really like. I might struggle with a little bit more.
Okay.
So
And that's
um,
okay.
yeah.
I gave it a 3.75.
Ooh, I love it.
Because I was like, do I want to give this a 4? And I was like, I don't think I want to give it a 4, but I think it's way better than a 3. And then I thought about some of the 3.5s that I've given, and I'm like, no, I like this more than some of those 3.5s.
Yeah.
Again, is this something I'm going to go back to and listen to frequently? No, but I loved it. I genuinely did. I had a great time. I thought it was, again, it kind of exceeded my expectations. I thought I was going to dislike it. I thought I was going to be confused. But really, it kind of took me on a journey and didn't know where that journey was headed, but I enjoyed it along the way. I was like, this is about the journey, not the destination. And I very much enjoyed it from an artistic perspective. Is it something I understand fully? No. But I like it. I did like it. And I think this is a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad that you had fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised whenever you told me that you liked it. I was like, yeah, I think this is
This is the
interesting.
second time this, I mean, again, you said the same thing with Pulp. You're like, I don't know if you're gonna like Pulp. And I loved Pulp, and now we've got Bjork, and you're like, I don't know if you're gonna like, apparently I just like weird shit.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you just like weird shit.
I'm into it. So that's all we've got for Ms. Bjork and her post album. Thank you, Cody, for again, as always, for joining me. Much appreciated. Before we wrap up, do you have any recent music recommendations? Anything you've listened to this week?
Yeah, so recently I've been listening to Sweet Pill and another song, or just Sweet Pill in general, any of their music. Check that out. And then also a song recommendation is called Constant Headache by Tiger's Jaw. And I believe it has Joyce Manor in it as well. Really into that song right now. So um, check that out.
Very nice. The Sweet Pill, is that what it is?
Sweet
Or
Pill, yeah.
that's the lead. They're like the lead is a female singer in
Yeah.
a kind of a punkish
Hmm.
band. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you.
What about
Um,
you?
I actually have two.
Oh, good.
One is a band called Bungalow Collect, and they are a rap group that sings over basically 70s beats. So very 70s disco music,
Hmm.
but with almost like a 90s style rap over top of it, but very fun sounding. Definitely want
Okay.
to disco to it. So yeah, Bungalow Collect is the band. I like the song Ballerina. That one's my favorite so far. But overall, I've enjoyed that. And then I have another one, and this is a TikTok recommendation. This is a trending-ish song on TikTok right now, but it's called Pop Music, which I thought was relevant to our month. But music is spelled Muzik, and I believe it's a song from the 80s by M and Robin Scott. So Robin Scott is the singer, M is the person who took the song and has done 30,000 remixes of it. But it's like talk about pop music, talk about pop music, and it's very fun and upbeat, and it's been stuck in my head for like 2 weeks. So I had to throw that out there into the world. Pop music by M and Robin Scott.
I also have to talk about oh yeah, Burst of Decay. 3 came out, but also
Yes.
the Ballad of Phil and Phyllis
Oh my God.
by Oliver Richmond and Joy Woods. Everybody check it out because it's a banger. Please go listen to it. So
If you don't know what the Ballad of Phil and Phyllis is, it is a concept song taken from the perspective of Phil, Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog on Groundhog's Day, and his wife Phyllis. And Phil is immortal, and Phyllis is not. And it is devastating, but also very, very fun. Very, very good.
I love it so much.
Yes, Burst in Decay 3 did come out too. If you're a Wonder Years fan, that came out on Friday, and it is great. I think I mentioned it like a week or two ago, so that's why I didn't bring it up again. But I'm still listening to that on repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're interested, thank y'all for joining in. If you're interested in getting any more information about our podcast, about joining us, about listening to the albums with us, anything revolving the 52 universe, you can join our Discord server, or you're also welcome to join us on Instagram. Either way, we post, updates, what we're going to be listening to. You get to see a fun picture of me with my face morphed into someone else's. So it's great. Next week, we are going to be covering, we already mentioned it, but we're going to be covering the album Timeless by Goldie. So again, can be found wherever you stream your music. Timeless by Goldie is next week's album. So again, thank y'all so much for being here today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on 52/1995.